Hey guys, Chaseboz here, and I decided to do a tier list for my beacon museum. This is like just a general tier list maker, and I'm just gonna tier all my different beacons. I currently am sitting at 42 beacons. Hopefully you guys have seen all of the beacons before this video comes out or whatever. Okay, cool. Alright, let's start strong. We're gonna start with this bad boy. The Super Beacon, or the Beacon. This bad boy immediately just deserves to go right into that S tier. Gotta crop it down, bring it around, down, there we go. Right into that S tier. Alright, another strong contender. Leaf Beacon. This one's rough, honestly. This one's a tough choice. I don't know if I want it in A or if I want it in S tier. So Editor Chase here, and I'm glad that I put this one in A. I don't think it belongs in S tier, honestly, anymore. Magma Block Beacon. Not that big of a fan in this. I think this one goes like D tier, if I'm being honest. I thought I was gonna be a fan of this one, but I just really wasn't a fan of it. Cobblestone. I think that one's like a B tier. Not quite A tier, but like, you know, it still holds its place. The classic Minecraft block, you know. Jack-o'-lantern. Did this one for Halloween. Didn't really think it's that good after Halloween, so that one's going straight to E tier. Pretty low on the list. I'm excited to see if I think any single one deserves F tier. I don't think I will, but Sand. I think Sand Beacon's another B tier. I think Sand Beacon goes ham in the B tier. Sand Beacon, very clean beacon. I'm a fan of Sand Beacon and how clean it is. Polished Andesite Beacon. I think this is like C tier. It has its place, but its place is C tier, you know? It's like it deserves to be here, just not that high on the list, you know? Dirt Beacon. This one surprised me when I first made it, because I thought I'd absolutely hate it. Didn't actually hate it. That being said, I think D tier is the tier for this bad boy. Same with like magma blocks, because they're both like blotchy, kinda like aggressively sharp to a degree. Now this bad boy, one of my all-time favorites. This one is like instantly S tier for me. Not quite like the best one that I have, but this thing, I just love the way this looks. I thought I was gonna really like Obsidian, but the Obsidian was alright, but like watching the crying Obsidian like cry or whatever it does, it's really satisfying to watch. Straight to S tier for this bad boy. Unpolished Diorite. This is F tier for me. Well, no. I have something in mind for F tier. This is E tier for me. Almost F tier, but E tier. It's like dirt, but just somehow slightly worse. It's hard to explain, really. Alright, unpolished. What is this one? It's an unpolished andesite. Okay, we're good. This isn't a bad block mixed in with other blocks of the same color, like bricks. It can look really nice with. But this block on its own, sharp like this, non-polished, I am just simply not a fan. This one, to me, is going F tier. We'll see if anything else joins it in F tier, but so far, I don't think anything will. I'm just not a fan of that one. Okie dokie artichokes. We got coal. Just coal blocks. Not cold ore, coal blocks. This was Gosh, I just had an aneurysm. This one was one of my favorite ones. From the beginning, first time I placed it, it's actually the beacon that kind of gave me the idea for the Beacon Museum. Because one day I was sitting around looking at all the coal I had, and I was like, I really wish I could make functional beacons out of this. Then I was like, well, I could at least make ones that look like they function. And so began the Beacon Museum. This one goes in A tier. and almost S tier for its story and for its creation of the beauty that is now the Beacon Museum. So, Slime Beacon next. This one with shaders, instantly one of my favorites. I wasn't too happy about it when it doesn't have shaders on, but the first time I saw this with shaders on, I was, that was nice. So this one goes S tier for me. This is another S tier rank for me. It just looks so clean with shaders on, especially with the super beacon next to it, casting light off of it. Oh yeah. Polished diorite, andesite, granite? Oh, was I saying it wrong the whole time? I was. This is andesite and the other one's granite. Big oof. Anyway, pretty clean. I think this is gonna go in B tier for me, honestly. I like the color scheme of it. I like the angles. Not a big fan of the unpolished version, but big fan of the polished version. This one goes B tier for me. Iron ore. Now, unlike iron, which I haven't rated yet, this one's gonna go higher than iron, but I don't think it quite deserves A tier iron ore. I think it deserves B tier. I have a couple ores in mind that are gonna go in A tier, but this one's B tier so far. Alright, oak block. It's cool, but when I see it, I'm not that's cool, you know? So this is, I don't know if I want to rate it D tier, but I feel like I want to rate it D tier. I think this one goes D tier for me. It was close between C and D tier, but definitely going D tier. Gravel. Gravel's one of the core blocks, so it's got that going for it, but if I'm being honest, it doesn't have much else going for it. It doesn't look as good as cobblestone in my opinion. I hate it when I'm mining, you know? I mean, obviously this isn't mining, but gotta count all the things for all these blocks, you know? This one goes E tier. Almost F tier, but E tier. Now here is the polished variant that I am a big boy fan of. This one goes A tier. Almost S tier. It's one of my favorite blocks in the game, and I think it looks really good paired with the glowing beacon and all the lights around it. It's just a really bright one, has great contrast. Oh, I love this. Alright, this is going A tier, debatably S tier. Not quite S tier, but, you know, close enough. Unpolished andesite. There's not too much to say about this one. Pretty much the same things I had to say about granite, unpolished granite, where it's a good block mixed in, you know? Good block mixed in with a bunch of other gray blocks. Besides that, I'm not a big fan of the way this looks. It looks like, I don't even know, just chipped sidewalk. I'm not a fan. This one's going to E tier. Here's the ore that I was referencing. That's A tier. I love the way this gold ore looks. I just love the way gold ore looks in general, but then turn it into a beacon, you got a fan. You got a fan right here. A tier for this bad boy. Coal ore, I don't know where I stand on this one. I think it goes, I want to say it goes above iron ore, but I don't think it goes A. Let me think. Do I move iron down one to C and put this one B, or do I put this one B as well? I'll put it B as well. I'm a big enough fan of the iron ore to keep iron ore in A, to keep iron ore in B. Now this beacon, hands down one of the best beacons I've made. I absolutely love this thing, and I actually think it's probably my favorite beacon. I might eventually order the tiers from worst to best, left to right, and if I did that, this one would go right up at the top. I love this thing. Just how bright it is, just looks great. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Stone, one of the basic blocks, pretty bland. I'm thinking this belongs in C tier, but in that same vein, I also feel like if this belongs in C tier, so does Cobblestone. So I think I'm gonna move Cobblestone down to C tier and put this C tier. This is a nice block stone, but it's got the problem that I have with iron beacons, where it's like, that's cool, but I've seen it. You know, you see stone everywhere. It's in all different kinds of builds. It's in the open world. If you mine a lot, you know, not a bad block, but I don't think it deserves to be B tier. Anvil. This is one of the, like, I have a group that I think is like a special group, where it's like the useful items, where everything else is kind of like a decorative block / use it in crafting recipes. This is part of the group. You can see some on the left there, hoppers. I'm standing on cauldrons in this picture, which I'll rate both of those soon. This is one of those group, and I think that group's unique. I like anvils out of that group, but I don't know if the uniqueness is enough to carry it up past, like, C. I think I'm gonna put anvils B, and I might put the other one C. On fire, netherrack. This isn't a good picture because it's not moving. This looks pretty darn good when you know, in-game, right? But I don't like the netherrack aspect of it, you know? I like the fire. That's cool. Like it very much. Good. But netherrack, I think this goes, if it wasn't netherrack, it'd go like B, and depending on what it is, it might be pushed up to A. But because this is netherrack, I think this one goes C, which unfortunately means when we get around to netherrack's probably going to be lower than this. Alright. White stained glass. Now this isn't a good picture of it because it doesn't show its sides. When the white stained glass reflects, it looks really, really nice. And I like the whole, like, I don't know how many in the YouTube video watching this will know, but there's these things called skeleton watches, where they show like the inner workings of a watch. I'll put one on screen. I like that concept to this, where you see the other beacon inside of it. And I know a lot of people dislike that. I'm a fan of it because it's unique compared to every other beacon except like 2. That all being said, I think this goes C, and I think the other glass one goes a little higher than this. And eventually I need to start adding more colored glasses to my museum. We'll see though. I don't know which color to add next. Lecterns. I was originally a fan of lecterns, but as time has gone by, it slowly just slipped off the list because I found cooler ones. So this one I think goes D tier, honestly. Maybe E tier, but it's too unique. Stonecutter, once again, bad image for stonecutters, just like the fire one, because you don't see it moving. When this is moving, it looks really nice, and then from a different angle, where you don't see the blades, that's also a great angle. So all of that combined, I think this goes B, honestly. Emerald Beacon. Now this one functions, right? This one functions, and it's my favorite functioning beacon. So I'm gonna go A with this one. But if I ever get Diorite, I think Diorite might take S as the highest functioning beacon. Hopper Beacon. This one's pretty alright, honestly. I like it and dislike it. This one goes C tier to me. Actually, I'm changing this one last second to D. It goes with the lectern, where it's like, that's cool, but like not entirely cool. With a skeleton skull beacon. It's got that cool, like, skeleton form to it, in referencing the watches again, no pun intended. But I'm not a fan of it. Really not a fan of this. I'm going E tier with this, honestly. Almost F. Actually, last second, I'm moving it to F tier. I'm gonna let it join Mr. Granite down here in F tier. Chests. This one's interesting. This one goes C, but not the biggest fan of it. Debatably B. I don't know, it's tough. Yeah, I think I'd go C with this one. I like it, but I also think it's bland, you know. And just jump right into the next one immediately. Bookshelves was originally cool, not that cool anymore. This one goes in D for bland. Obsidian Beacon. Now this one isn't crying obsidian. This one doesn't deserve S tier like Crying Obsidian, but this one deserves A tier in my opinion. I was a big fan of this one, and I was just like a bigger fan of the Crying Obsidian when it happened. Gold Beacon, this one's alright, honestly. It's one of the ones that functions. It, I don't know, looks like butter, looks like cheese. It's not much to say about it. This one goes like B tier, maybe C tier. I'm not the biggest fan of this one, if I'm being honest. It's better than iron, that's for sure, Z's. I moved it down to C because I like that position better. B seems too high. Barrel Beacon. This one's bland, honestly, to me. I think this one goes D tier. I'm not the biggest fan. Like, it has design on the side, but it just, I don't know, it's just not riveting to look at, you know? TNT. I know a lot of people like TNT, but this one goes C for me. Just kind of like the middle of the pack, honestly. Iron Beacon. Now this one goes D tier. This one's, I have so many iron beacons, I'm pretty sure everyone else has iron beacons. It's like the beacon that you get. It's bland, the block doesn't look that good, specifically in this scenario, and everyone has them. This one goes like E tier, honestly. I was going D tier for a bit. I changed my mind. E tier. Cauldrons. These are in that unique category that I mentioned earlier, but they're not that really cool in this scenario. They kind of remind me of like an oven, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna go D. I'm going E tier because I forgot hoppers are in D tier and I don't like them as much as hoppers, so I need to go down a tier. Lapis block. This, I don't know where I stand on this one, because it's cool, but it's also not cool. I think I'm just gonna go C, my go-to middle of the pack. Just like, yeah, it's there. It's not bad. It's not bland. Oh, here we go. Netherrack. Cool. F tier. Sorry, Netherrack, but you're not on fire, so you go F tier. And that's the end of the list. There we have it. Alright, thank you guys for watching me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about my tier list. If you disagree with it, that's fine. This is my personal tier list. 40 beacons so far. That's a pretty good start. I can't wait till we have more and the tier list becomes almost too large to tier by itself. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.